Hey, great to connect with you again. So, I would love to propose that rather than us celebrating Valentine's Day on one day only, that we look at February as an opportunity to bring our attention to care, care of ourselves, care of our communities, etc. Yeah? So, why does it have to be on just one day? So, with that in mind, we've talked about before how it is valuable to consider that we are in talking about 8 different realms of well-being when we talk about investing our time, our energy, and our attention into care to have holistic well-being, thriving in our lives. With that, today I'd like to focus on one of the particular realms around mental wellness. And to do that, we are going to sample from the Healthy Mind Platter. What? So in 2011, the USDA shifted from the healthy food pyramid to a healthy food platter to really bring some, awareness to the fact that it doesn't have to be a hierarchy and it's not about exactly portions, about balance and making sure there's a little this, a little that, and choosing what your body needs. And person to person, right, that will vary. Same thing with this. Doctors Dan Siegel and David Rock in 2011 created the Healthy Mind Platter with the same idea in mind. And the idea of it is to really optimize recharging, rebooting, and connecting in our brains with integrating our bodies and our brain connection, and those things combining with our world, our community, our environment. So let's dig into this, the Healthy Mind Platter. Let's choose our diet. So there are 7 realms within 7 categories on this Healthy Mind Platter that we're going to look at. And so the first is your focus time. So when we focus on tasks in a goal-oriented way, whether those be responsibilities in your personal life, in your work life, but you're bringing your full attention to that. And in doing that, we have multiple neurotransmitters that are created when we focus our attention: norepinephrine, acetylcholine, dopamine, all sorts of interesting neurotransmitters. Some are part of helping the neurons themselves wire differently. Some are helpful to bring in different parts of our brain for the learning. Some settle our nervous systems overall so we can focus on the task and the learning at hand. So it's pretty cool, actually. This is neurobiology at work when we learn and when we focus our attention. So with this, I'm going to give you each one of these 7 categories. I'm going to give you a tip. So the tip on this one is to plan your work and work your plan. I love that. Plan your work your plan. Prioritize a list of the things that you know that you would like to accomplish on this day. Maybe even think about roughly how much time you would like or you expect that particular task to take. And then you're going to work through those one by one intentionally and with focused attention. And in between times, giving yourself the opportunity to schedule small breaks to refocus, re-energize, and bring new energy to the next task. Okay, so serial tasking. Playtime. When we allow ourselves to be creative and spontaneous, when we tap into the things that we remember, help us reconnect to our inner child. What did we enjoy doing when we were younger? Can we tap into enjoying for joy's sake? So this is a time where we're giving signals to our body and to our brain that it is safe enough to have fun, that we can be a little silly. I think as adults, we don't often give ourselves permission to be silly and to have fun. So scheduling something that brings you a time of fun, creativity, and enjoyment is important. It taps into other parts of your brain and it helps to fortify certain parts of curiosity and learning and brain growth. Important. Connecting time. When we connect with people, ideally in person, with our environment and with ourselves. So connecting time. And it's a part of activating different parts of your brain now as we go through connecting time. And we help to fortify relational circuitry. And in this, you are then engaging with friends, family, community, and your environment. And there are 2 P's and 3 G's in this. 2 P's, people and planet. 3 G's, generosity, giving, and gratitude. Each one of those have impacts on our neurotransmitters, our body chemistry, and on our brain, allowing for the neurons to fire and wire more effectively together and to work into different parts of our brain. So not only is it important for brain growth and brain stimulation, but it also fortifies and settles our immune systems, our nervous systems, and leads to a feeling of connection and thriving. Builds resiliency. In this, your tip is to go outside for a walk and maybe consider asking someone to go with you, maybe a pet, or maybe you call somebody you care about while you're going for a walk. The idea is that you get lots of bonuses from this, where you get outside, you connect with the environment and nature, which fortifies you. You connect with yourself by giving yourself permission to take this time outdoors, and you connect with another being in your life that matters to you. Physical time. When we move our bodies, we are, especially aerobically, if that is available to you, we use different parts of our brain. We are connecting then brain and body together, which is, again, using different parts of our brain. And we balance our neurotransmitters. And this also helps us to discharge physical energy and such that are stored in our bodies, particularly from focus time. So with this, we help to release that energy, which settles our nervous systems and helps our brain to focus. So the tip here is to take several 1-minute breaks, maybe 90 seconds, several times throughout the day. Maybe it's to take just a quick walk away from what you're doing. Maybe it's to do some jumping jacks, do a plank, do some wall squats. Maybe go outside with your pet. Maybe spend a little time with your kiddo, but do something that moves your body. And maybe you also take the time to schedule a more focused exercise session in whatever is available to you, whether that's mindful movement, yoga, running, biking, hiking, going to the gym, whatever it may be. So several minute breaks at 90 seconds per day, but make an effort to also schedule an exercise that is fortifying and available to you and your body. The bonus from that certainly also is with physical activity is that it also allows you to fall asleep and stay asleep better. All right, so that's physical time. Time in is the next one. When we quietly reflect and internally focusing our sensations on images, on thoughts, on feelings, this is introspection time. We're putting time in, and in this, we better integrate these thoughts, these feelings. We regulate our nervous systems. We decrease cortisol, and it helps then to remember and to learn. So this is all part and parcel of fortifying our overall well-being. Mindfulness practices are very valuable here. So in whatever way that is useful for you. And it helps then that we're grounding ourselves. And the tip here is consider journaling practices. And the reason, again, is we've talked about before, it helps you to process and release and to learn from thoughts, sensations, etc. that come up with particular experiences. Better able to integrate and to move forward and by. Downtime. So literally downtime, giving yourself permission to unplug, relax, recharge, allowing your mind to wander. Each of us has something or multiple somethings that allow us to just let our minds go into what's called diffuse thinking, where we daydream, where we don't have any particular task or anything to accomplish for just a little bit. Our brains need this to help recharge and reboot. So the tip here is, again, to give yourself permission, number one, to do this at least once a day, if not multiple times per day, where you very intentionally step outside. Maybe you just give yourself permission to doodle. Maybe you listen to some music and just close your eyes. Just settle down, settle down. The last and the seventh of the categories is sleep time. Sleep time is absolutely imperative for brain health and for learning and memory to be integrated and fortified. This is also where we process metabolic waste and flush out our brain, get rid of metabolites that can be harmful to our brain. And very important, of course, it recharges and reboots our whole body and our nervous system. The tip here is really give some consideration to your bedtime habits. To the best of your ability, really try to go to bed and get up at roughly the same time, 7 days a week. And also consider, as I know we've heard this before, think about how much blue light you're exposing yourself to in the 60 minutes before bed. And please remove electronic devices, if at all possible, from your sleeping space to really allow yourself to not be disturbed once you have fallen off to sleep. All of this can only take place if we bring intention to it. So think about then the 7 categories. You can go on to Google or your platform of choice to look up Dan Siegel and Healthy Mind Platter to review this. Lots of opportunities to create self-care assessments and then a plan. And then maybe you aim to have maybe 3 that you focus on, and you try to do those 3 activities in a week. And then maybe you increase it to maybe more than 3 per week. Maybe you aim to then increase it to at least 1 or 2 per day, and keep track of it. Be compassionate, be patient, but healthy brains, integrated emotions and learning, regulated nervous systems, and greater connectivity with our bodies, with our community, equals a thriving human, equals thriving communities. This is care. Caring for ourselves, caring for the connections that we have with the world around us. That would be a great focus for February. So, a little bit of a longer one. I hope that you learned and maybe took some things with you today. Get curious, go online, look a little bit more around self-care assessments and plans, as well as the Healthy Mind Platter. Take care of your mental health and well-being as part of your 8 realms of well-being for a thriving you. With that, until next time, take good care. Bye now.